Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Parang kailangan ko po ng energy. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ay, good morning pala yung gusto nila. Good morning, everyone! Good morning! At kami po sa Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics ay nagagalak na kayo po ay nandito ngayong umaga para po sa ikatlong Autism Camp. Ngayong taon ay katuwang po namin ang Center for Development Intervention Foundation Incorporated at ang PCMC Rehabilitation Medicine Division kasama ang mga volunteer therapists mula sa iba't ibang therapy centers. Ako po si Dr. Angela Villaseñor, isang fellow ng Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics, ang magiging MC ninyong sa araw na ito. Tayo din po pala ay napapanood ng live sa aming Facebook page. Napakaswerte po natin dahil makakapakinig po tayo ng mga lectures mula sa dalawang eksperto pagdating sa larangan ng pag-aalaga at pag-aaruga sa mga batang may autism. Ang araw na ito ay inaasahan namin na magbibigay ng madaming aral sa inyo. Para po sa mga pamilya na aming inimbitahan na dumalo ngayon kasama namin face-to-face dito sa PCMC, kami po ay naghanda ng mga maraming activities para sa inyo. Kaya naman, wag na po nating patagalin. Upang umpisahan po ang programa ngayong araw, hilingin natin ang biyaya ng Diyos at simulan natin ang programa sa pamamagitan ng panalangin, kasunod ng pambansang awit ng Pilipinas at ang PCMC hymn. Inaanyayahan ko po ang lahat na tumayo. Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts, lifting up all our patients in the section of neurodevelopmental pediatrics. You are the creator of all, and you have made each child uniquely special. May they always feel your presence, knowing that they are wonderfully made. We ask that you wrap them in your loving embrace, filling their lives with joy, peace, and hope. Lord, we also lift up the families of these children. Give them strength, patience, and unwavering love. Provide them with the support they need and to surround them with a community that offers encouragement and understanding. We pray for the doctors, teachers, and therapists who work tirelessly to help these children. May they be instruments of your healing and bring comfort to both the children and their families. Grant them the ability to see each child not just a patient, but as a precious soul deserving of dignity and respect. Lord, we ask for your continued guidance and blessings upon all those involved in the lives of children with special needs. May you continue to open doors for greater inclusion, where every child is valued for who they are, and their unique gifts are celebrated in schools, communities, and society. May we, as a world, embrace the beautiful diversity you have created, showing kindness, respect, and love to all individuals. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, telas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bagaw, ay hinatang tulakawin sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iinit, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng walhagin pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng
Your lovely eyes that we see, your gentle hands that we touch, remind us of life and its mystery, its treasures and its boundless beauty. The gifts that we have received, to you we joyfully give, a call for us to serve with all our love, to share ourselves and all that we have. We will care for you, children of life. We will walk with you in the path of light. We desire a future so noble, so true. PCMC, a family with you. Your lovely eyes that we see, your gentle hands that we touch, reminds us of life and its mystery, its treasures and its boundless beauty. The gifts that we have received, to you we joyfully give, a call for us to serve with all our love, to share ourselves and all that we have. We will care for you, children of life. We will walk with you in the path of light. We desire a future so noble, so true. PCMC, a family with you. We will care for you, children of life. We will walk with you in the path of light. We desire a future so noble, so true. PCMC, a family with you.
Maaari na po kayong umupo. Sobrang nakakatuwa po at ang mga minamahal naming mga tagapamuno ng ating ospital ay full support sa aktibidad natin. Panoorin po natin ang isang mensahe mula kay Dr. Cecilia Ogan, ang Executive Director ng Philippine Children's Medical Center.
Good morning to our dear parents and caregivers, our therapists, doctors, volunteers, partners, and most especially to the wonderful children who inspire this gathering. It is truly a joy to welcome you to the third Autism Camp of the Philippine Children's Medical Center in celebration of Autism Acceptance Month. For many families, the autism journey begins with questions and uncertainties. Along the way, parents, therapists, and doctors learn and grow together, sharing challenges, celebrating milestones, and supporting one another. Today's camp is a reminder that no one walks this journey alone. Over the past 2 years, Autism Camp has grown into a space where families find not only knowledge, but also comfort, understanding, and community. Here, parents meet other parents who truly understand. Professionals connect and learn from one another. And most importantly, our children are given a safe and joyful space where they can simply be themselves. At PCMC, we believe that caring for children with autism is a shared journey. It is a partnership between families and professionals, built on trust, compassion, and hope. While doctors and therapists bring expertise, parents bring unmatched dedication, patience, and love. With this come together, incredible progress becomes possible. To our parents, thank you for your courage and for being the strongest advocates of your children. To our therapists and doctors, thank you for your commitment and for the heart you bring into your work every day. Your collaboration is what makes programs like this meaningful and impactful. May today be a day of learning and connection and encouragement for everyone. On behalf of the Philippine Children's Medical Center, welcome to Autism Camp 2026. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat and Basta Bata, PCMC.
Palakpakan po natin ang Executive Director ng PCMC, Dr. Cecilia O. Gan. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Gan. Ngayon ay malugod ko pong ipinapakilala sa inyo ang susunod na magbibigay ng mensahe. Siya ang nagtaguyod ng Child Neurology sa ating bansa at ang ikalimang director ng PCMC noong 1981. Sa kanyang direksyon na itatag ang Child Neuroscience Division. Para sa kanyang special message, pasalubungan po natin na masigabong palakpakan si Dr. Lilian V. Lee.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Hindi ko na po uulitin ang sinabi ng current director. Director po ako from 1986 to 2005, 6. Anyway, palagi po ako nag-open the remarks. So, ito pong activity ito, as much as possible, hindi ko po namimiss. Dapat talagang ina-attenan ng lahat ng mga tao sa neurosciences at saka lahat ho ng mga pasyente na kagaya po ninyo. Kayo po ay siguradong matututo ng madami at kayo po ay mag-e-enjoy pa in addition to learning. So, enjoy your affair this morning. Morning lang ba? Okay. And I'm sure you will go home very much rewarded. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Lee. Bago po tayo magsimula, ay gusto naming i-acknowledge ang ating mga bisita na naglaan ng kanilang oras para sa atin ngayong umaga. Ina-acknowledge po namin ang mga consultants ng Child Neurology, Dr. Ortiz, Dr. Agrava po, ang head ng Child Neuroscience Division. Palakpakan po natin sila. Dr. Bolaños, and consultant po ng Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, Dr. Luz po, ay nandito rin po. And isa po sa mga partners po namin, simula nung una pa at sa mga home empowerment, si Miss Cecil Sicam, teacher. And syempre po mamaya po makikilala niyo po ang ating mga speakers. Nandito rin po ang mga consultants ng Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics na kasama po nating nag-organize ngayong umaga. Palakpakan po natin sila. And of course, mga fellows ng Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics. And babatiin ko na rin po ngayon ng isa pa po nating laging kasama, Teacher May Sadico, na makikilala po ng iilan po sa inyo mamaya sa small group discussion. Ngayon po ay simulan na po natin ang ating Autism Camp. Upang ipaliwanag ang ating mga layunin at daloy ng programa ngayon, tawagin natin ang kasalukuyang tagapamuno ng Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics at ang ating camp director. Palakpakan po natin si Dr. Christine Conducto.
Okay, magandang umaga po ulit sa lahat. Are we all okay? Gising pa po? Okay. So magandang umaga sa inyong lahat and warm welcome to each and every one of you today. Ako po at ang aking mga kapwa-doktor ng PCMC NDS team ay nagagalak at kayo ay aming makakasama ngayong umaga sa pangatlong Autism Camp. Okay? Gusto ko pong ipaabot ang taus-pusong pasasalamat sa aming mga kagalang-galang na mga panauhin Si Dr. Lee, na-meet niyo na po ang aming former Executive Director. Dr. Ortiz, ang former head po ng Child Neuroscience Division. And Dr. Luz po, former head din po ng Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. At ang aming former section head din po, si Dr. Ermenilda Avendaño. And of course, na-meet nyo na rin po yung aming current Child Neuroscience Division Chair, Dr. Agrava. And ably supported po by our consultants, Dr. Bolaños, and of course, our NeuroDev pediatric consultants, Dr. Poy, Dr. Hao, we have Dr. Braganza, Dr. Bautista, Dr. Hani Lopez, Nikki Anyag, and of course, our neuropsychology consultant, none other than Dr. Lopa Ramos. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagdalo ngayong umaga. Okay, and of course, yung ating mga facilitators, later on i-announce po namin ang aming fellows in training who worked hard for this to be a success. And of course, our volunteer therapists, please. So we have occupational therapists, speech therapists who were here very early, So thank you for taking time po. And then, of course, yung ating mga guro, meron din po tayong mga educators dito. And of course, mga parent advocates, Sino po ba mga parent advocates dito? Siyempre, kayo po yun. Huwag na po kayong tumingin sa likod. Kayo po yun, At mga little campers, na makakasama natin ngayon sa pangatlong autism camp. Okay, next. So, ang layunin ng camp ay ang mga sumusunod, Ito po ay para ma-improve ang inyong pag-unawa at mag-increase ang awareness ng autism spectrum disorder. Pangalawa po ay para maintindihan natin kung ano yung developmental course ng autism mula sa pagkabata hanggang sa pagiging adolescent nila at ma-recognize po ang age-related challenges across the key domains. Number 3 po is to provide an overview of transition planning for adolescents with ASD, including timing readiness, key processes, life domains, and available supports for transition to adult care and adulthood. Number 4 po is to provide strategies for family support and guidance on management in the home setting. Facilitate the formation of support network for families and individuals affected by autism within the community. Next, please. Ngayong pangatlong taon ng Autism Camp, kami po ay nagprepara para palawakin ang pag-intindi sa mga bata, teenager or adolescents hanggang sa kanilang pagiging adult. Aming nare-recognize na ang pagpapalaki sa kanila ay isang malaking pagsubok at mga pagbabago, lalo na kung sila ay may developmental concerns. Marahil, naisip nyo, ano ang mangyayari sa aking anak paglaki? Ilan po kaya sa inyo ang nakaisip na ganito? I'm sure marami po. Thank you po for raising your hands, and I'm sure kaya po kayo nandito ay para po mas maintindihan ninyo. Okay? So, next slide po. So today is truly a special occasion, as we come together to celebrate this program for families of children with autism under the SINAG program. Ito po ay isang initiative ng Philippine Children's Medical Center Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics. Ang SINAG po stands for Support, Inspire, Nurture Autism, Empowering Guardians. It embodies our commitment to providing guidance and support to families and caregivers of children with autism. Ang pagpapalaki ng anak na may autism ay isang unique na journey na nangangailangan ng pasensya, advokasya, at pangangalaga sa sarili. Ito ay napupuno ng iba't ibang mga pagsubok at pagkilala ng kanilang kakayanan at tibay ng loob na nakikita sa inyong lahat. Naiintindihan din namin na ang iba't ibang pagsubok, ang kawalan ng katiyakan, at ang emosyonal na kasama nito. Ito po ang dahilan kung bakit na-conceptualize ng section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics ang SINAG program. Ito po ay ginawa hindi lang upang mabigyan kayo ng mga impormasyon, kung hindi ay mabigyan din kayo ng kakayanan or ma-empower kayo para maging habang buhay advocates or lifelong advocates at educators, tagapagturo ng mga pangangailangan ng inyong mga anak. Since its inception in last 2023, SINAG has been dedicated to equip parents with practical tools and knowledge through a series of lectures and workshops. From understanding autism to effective communication techniques, learning about sensory processing deficits to structured teaching methods, we've covered a wide range of topics to ensure you have the skills and understanding to support your child's unique needs. Nagsimula po ito ng online at ngayon may in-person na rin. So gusto ko pong makuha ang pagkakataon na ito upang i-acknowledge ulit ang ating mga speakers na nandito ngayon. So we have Dr. Ramos, we have Teacher Cecil Sicam, we have Teacher Lady Suarez, Teacher Susie, and of course, Teacher May. Kami ay pinagpala na maimbita ang mga eksperto sa kanilang larangan ng kadalubhasaan. Nagsimula po kami ng webinar noong 2023 to 2024, then ito po ay itinuloy sa pamamagitan ng mga small group discussions. Mga 15 to 20 participants po ang kada grupo. 6 na serye ang nabigay noong 2023 hanggang 2024 at ito po ay nagwakas ng aming first autism camp. So last year, 2025, ay pinagputuloy po namin ang Home Empowerment Program. Nakapag-discuss po sila Teacher May sa Deacon, ang home program po with Teacher Lady Suarez at ang aming structured teaching by Teacher Cecil Sicam. Maari niyo pong itong mapanood sa pamamagitan ng aming PCMC NDS Facebook. Sa pangatlong autism camp, aming binigyan ng pansin ang mga adolescents at teenagers. Again, di ba po, naisip nyo or question nyo sa sarili nyo, ano ang pwede nyong gawin o ano kaya ang magiging mangyayari sa aking anak paglaki nila. So, ang transition po ay mahalagang yugto ng buhay na dito po namin gustong ipakita ang mga iba't ibang kakayanan na maaring i-develop sa mga individual na may autism. Bilang isang magulang ng may autism disorder, posibleng itanong nyo ang anong gagawin ko ngayong lumalaki na ang aking anak. Ang transition mula ng pagkabata nila, maging teenager or pagdadalaga o pagbibinata at mula adolescence and pag-adult na sila. Importanteng maintindihan na hindi lamang edad ang kailangang maintindihan kung hindi ang kanilang paglaki, paghanda sa kinabukasan, at mga iba't ibang oportunidad. Paghandaan or strengthening, paghusayin ang kanilang life skills at i-explore ang mga kanilang vocational interest para maihanda sila sa independent na pamumuhay. For 2026, 2 webinar na po ang naibigay upang talakayin ang mahalagang bagay tungkol sa transition. Natapos na po ang 2 taong autism camp in 2024 and 2025. Okay? Para sa mga magulang, kami po ay naghanda ng isang family guide kung saan mababasa ninyo at ibang strategiya upang matulungan ang inyong mga anak. So ito po yung reward ninyo for attending this camp face-to-face. So we have our fellows po, bibigyan po kada pamilya ng isang kopya po ng family guide. I hope you like it po at makatulong sa inyo. And today po, we're taking the next step by bringing our community together in this autism camp. Whether you're here in person, we have an exciting lineup planned for you. From plenary lectures to workshops and small group discussions, our aim is to provide you with even more tools, insights, and opportunities to learn and grow. At ngayong umaga ay may mga exciting lectures tayo at napaunlakan ng mga esteemed speakers tulad nila Dr. Ermenilda Avendaño, isang child neurologist at neurodevelopmental pediatrician, at Dr. Anthony Grecia, ang isang tanyag na occupational therapist na tutulong sa atin para italakay ang introduction to transition. At of course, habang kayo po ay nakikinig sa plenary lectures, ang mga bata naman po ay nasa kabilang kwarto lang po, no? Sa kanilang mga grupo, kasama ang ating mga volunteer therapists at teachers. Sila ay bibigyan ng mga iba't ibang activities. Pagkatapos po ng plenary lectures, magkakaroon tayo ng 15-minute break bago magkaroon ng small group discussion. So kung mapapansin niyo po, yung name tag po ninyo, color-coded po, no? So meron po tayong green kung kayo po ay kabilang sa young children, 5 to 7.11. Yellow po, middle childhood. Titingnan niyo po yung nameplate niyo po, ha? Color-coded. I hope wala pong colorblind. Okay? Blue po, no? Group 3, yung mga early adolescents. And yung group 4, ito po yung mid to late adolescents, and then group 5 po, ito po yung mga special group namin na level 3, pero wala po yung kanilang mga anak dito po. Okay? Next. So, ito po yung ating magiging breakout set up later on. Meron naman po tayong mga fellows who will guide you po kung saan group po kayo pupunta. Okay? Next po. So, ito lang po yung aming mga volunteers. So, naka-deck na rin po yung ating mga volunteers per room, no? To help our children enjoy po yung mga camp activities natin. Okay? So, ito po yan. Okay. So, once again, warm welcome po to our autism camp. May today be filled with new connections, valuable insights, and moments of joy and inspiration. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank the following for being part of this incredible journey with us. The PCMC Rehab Medicine Division, CDIFI. Okay, palakpak naman daw po dyan. Sa aming mga volunteers na occupational therapists, and speech therapists. So we have from the St. Luke's Medical Center, the Neurodevelopmental Center. We have from Outplay, Up and Up, Play Explorers, Therapy Center, Chatter Therapy Center, Primo Care, Badges, Tiny Tots, and Dev Hub. And of course, next po, our medical partners. So we have Sidus po and Medichem. We also have the special participation of Mondenicin. So meron po kayong mga snacks. So kasama po yan sa ating sponsorship. Ang Mondenicin po ay isang Philippine-based multinational food and beverage company. Through the generous efforts of their CEO, Mr. Henry Sosanto, they donated baked goods as snacks for the kids and all the participants. Mr. Sosanto also personally donated for our autism camp and our projects of the section. Okay. Next po is a special sponsor, no? Ito po ay ang Ethos Kitchen and Cafe. It is a restaurant po in Clark, Pampanga. So nakarating na po kami ng Clark, Pampanga through the efforts of our fellow Dr. Villaseñor. During their first anniversary, they were looking actually for an institution to collaborate with us as part of their social responsibility program. And they actually had a dinner for a cause which happened last March 8, and all the proceeds were given to help us support in our current program. Yan po ang Ethos Kitchen and Cafe. And of course, we had more generous sponsors. We have 30s Woodtech and our Pharma, Torrent Pharma. Maraming salamat po. And of course, kami po ay na-bless for this year to have a media partner. Okay? Ang ating media partner ngayong taon ay ang Daily Tribune po. Isa po itong dyaryo na may print and online presence upang masuportahan ang ating autism advocacy, nakapaglabas na po ng 2 articles, no? So, pwede po kayong mag-online ulit para mabasa niyo po yung mga articles. Ito po ay inilathala noong April 12 at ang pangalawa po ay kahapon lamang, no? So, narito rin po ang kanilang writer at photographer. Where are you po? Ayun po. Para i-cover ang ating event ngayong umaga. Okay. Ngayong taon ay pinaunlakan mula na tayo po ni Herbert Claus na in-exhibit ang kanyang mga paintings, no? So yan po, meron po tayong paintings on the right side of the stage, no? Kasama rin po nila sila Julian Erlano and Julian, where are you? Yes, Julian, thank you for joining our exhibit. And of course, we have Zoe Laplana. Hi, Zoe. Thank you for joining us. Maari po ninyong tignan ang kanilang mga creation, no, as you go around the area. So as we look ahead to the future, malapit na pong matapos, intro pa lang po ito. Let us continue to support our one another and advocate for our children. Let us celebrate their strengths, nurture their talents, and champion their journey towards independence and fulfillment. At ating laging tandaan na ang autism advocacy is more than awareness. It is about understanding, acceptance, and action. It reminds us that every individual deserves to be seen, heard, and empowered. For us professionals, no po, advocacy is a responsibility. It challenges us to provide care that is evidence-based and individualized. It reminds us that our role is to help shape a world that is more inclusive, more understanding, and more receptive to their diverse needs. So, mahaba po ang introduction, but let us celebrate autism awareness and take every small step forward. So together po, we can create a supportive community where every child po with autism is valued, understood, and given the opportunity to thrive. So nung first autism camp po namin, parang novela, no po? Actually, nag-prepare po ang section po, headed by our fellows, ng isang special po na kanta na that will describe po yung mga pinagdadaanan po ng mga bata at kung ano po yung ating mga pwede pa pong gawin. So, I'd like to share this short video and then after this po, we will go on with the program. Okay? So, maraming salamat po. Enjoy the video. Let's play the video.
Minsan mahirap maintindihan mga tanong na walang kasagutan. Pero tandaan, di ka nag-iisa. May nagmamahal at laging makakasama. Ang bawat galaw may kwento rin. Tahimik man malalim ang damdamin. Iba-ibang kulay ng mundo, pero lahat tayo'y parte nito. Sa sariling anyo, ikaw ay bituin. Sa liwanag mo, tataas ang tingin. Sa mata'y mundo'y puno ng kulay, di man maintindihang tunay. Puno ng tanong at pangamba, ngunit uri ng pangarap. Iba-iba ang kulay ng mundo, pero lahat tayo'y parte nito. Sa sariling anyo, ikaw ay bituin. Sa liwanag mo, tataas ang tingin. Hindi ka nag-iisa sa paglalakbay. Ang tinig mo'y aming isasabay. May halaga ka sa iyong kabuuan. Abot kamay ang iyong kinabukasan. Hindi ka nag-isa sa paglalakbay. Ang tinig mo'y aming isasabay. May halaga ka sa iyong kabuuan. Abot kamay ang iyong kinabukasan.
Okay, so yan po yung na-prepare po. So kamukha ng sabi sa video, hindi po kayo nag-iisa. So we are here po to support your journey po. Maraming salamat po.
At this point po, ang mga bata po ay sasama na po sa ating mga therapists. Kamukha po ng nasabi po namin sa mga magulang nung inimbita po namin kayo ay may sarili din po silang programa po. So they will go po sa training rooms. We would like to invite the therapists po to please proceed po to your assigned rooms. As well as the parents po, ihahatid po or susunduin po ang inyong mga anak. Fellows, please assist in inviting the kids so that they can go to the training rooms so we can start with the plenary lectures. Ang training rooms po ay ang mga susunod po na kwarto sa likod po nito. We will give a few minutes para po makapunta po ang mga therapists to get the kids. Para po sa mga nanonood sa Facebook, ang nangyayari po ngayon ay may mga bata po nakasama ang mga parents at may mga partner po na therapist na magbibigay po ng mga activities po para sa kanila habang ang mga magulang at kayo po nanonood sa Facebook ay makikinig sa 2 lecture na ibibigay po ng ating mga speakers. Maya-maya po ay ipapakilala po natin ang ating mga speakers at sana po ang mga nanonood po sa Facebook at kayo po dito live sa face-to-face po dito sa Philippine Children's Medical Center MPH Multipurpose Hall ay matuto po sa ating mga speakers.
Minsan mahirap maintindihan.
We would like to ask the parents po to please go back and
Pero tandaan,
para po makapakinig po sa lecture. The kids will go to the training rooms.
at laging magkakasama. Ang bawat galaw may kwento rin. Tahimik man malalim ang damdamin. Iba sa sariling anyo. Ikaw ay bituin, sa liwanag mo tataas ang tingin. Sa mata'y mundo'y puno ng kulay, di man maintindihang tunay. Puno ng tanong at pangamba, ngunit sa ngiti natutong magtiwala. Ang bawat galaw may kwento rin, tahimik man malalim ang damdamin. Iba-ibang kulay ng mundo, pero lahat tayo'y parte nito. Sa sariling anyo, ikaw ay bituin, sa liwanag mo tataas ang tingin.
We would like to ask po the therapist. You can go na po sa training rooms. Except for the facilitators, junior facilitators. Iniimbita po namin ang mga parents, pwede po kayong lumipat para po mas makapakinig po kayo, mas malapit.
Magkasabay tutuparin ang pangarap. Iba-ibang kulay ng mundo,
Sino sa mga parents po, lahat po kayo may booklet na.
sa sariling anyo, ikaw ay bituin, sa liwanag mo tataas ang tingin. Hindi ka nag-iisa sa paglalakbay, ang tinig mo'y aming isasabay. May halaga ka sa iyong kabuuan, abot kamay ang iyong kinabang.
Pakitaas po ang kamay ng wala pang booklet.
Hindi ka nag-isa sa paglalakbay.
All parents po may booklet na, 1, 2, 3. Before po time 4. Isang booklet lang po kada bata. Okay?
Sa iyong kabuuan, abot kamay ang iyong kinabukasan.
Anyway, at lahat po, isang notebook and tote bag para you can write during the lecture. Okay? Okay na. Ngayon po ay simulan na po natin ang ating plenary lectures at pakinggan ang dalawang experts sa kanilang larangan at palalimin ang ating pag-unawa sa autism. Para ipakilala ang ating mga plenary lecture speakers, tawagin po natin ang isa sa mga consultant sa Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics at coordination ng aming transition program, si Dr. Catherine Braganza. Palakpakan po natin siya.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, dear parents. Sa punto pong ito ng ating programa ay makikibahagi tayo sa mga talakayang pangungunahan ng ating mga eksperto. So isa-isa ko po silang ipapakilala sa puntong ito. Ang ating unang tagapagsalita po ay si Dr. Ermenilda L. Avendaño. Si Dr. Avendaño po ay isang child neurologist at isang neurodevelopmental pediatrician na nagtapos ng kanyang fellowship sa parehong programa dito sa Philippine Children's Medical Center. Siya po ang kasalukuyang Department Manager of Medical Services ng PCMC at ang dating head ng Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics at Child Neuroscience Division dito sa ating ospital. Isa rin po siyang active consultant sa St. Luke's Medical Center, Quezon City, at siya din ay isang dating presidente ng Philippine Society of Developmental and Behavioral Pediatrics. Ipinakikilala rin po namin ang ating pangalawang tagapagsalita, Si Dr. Anthony S. Gresha, isang lisensyadong occupational therapist at eksperto sa mental health na nagtapos sa University of the Philippines, Manila at Ateneo de Manila University. Kilala siya sa kanyang pamumuno sa Philippine Academy of Occupational Therapists at pagsusulong ng makabagong therapy practices sa bansa, kabilang ang CBT-informed occupational therapy. Sa kasalukuyan, pinamumunuan niya po ang The Vanguard Academy at co-founded ang Goals Center for Therapy and Wellbeing at ginawaran ng 2025 Fe Isaac Sano Award of Merit para sa kanyang natatanging kontribusyon. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga speakers ngayong umaga at nawa po ay maraming matutunan ng ating tagapakinig dito sa PCMC at ang mga nanonood sa Facebook Live. Muli, let's all welcome Dr. Ermenilda L. Avendaño.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Sa lahat ng nandito at sa nakikinig sa Facebook. Sabi po ni Dr. Rakat na marami po kaming maibigay sa inyo na contribution in terms of autism and nasa akin po ay autism across the lifespan. Okay. So, ang ating gagawin po, or aking gagawin, is hindi lang po ito kwento ng mga batang may autismo. Ito po ay actually kwento nating lahat. Okay? So, the life of a child with autism across the lifespan isn't just the patient's journey alone. Ito po ay journey ng kasama na rin po ng mga tao na tumutulong sa kanya. It's the family who loves him, the community that embraces him, and the advocates who ensure his life will be full of purpose. Therefore, journey po natin itong lahat. It's an odyssey kasi alam po natin hindi madali, pero basta sama-sama po tayo, magagawa po nating lahat. Mahirap po na i-characterize ko for every stage, sabi nga across the lifespan. Therefore, pag ginawa ko po sunod-sunod dito at masyadong detalyado, next year pa po tayo matatapos. Okay? So, what I'll do is for every life stage, meron po tayong presentation of what you would look into, ano po yung mga challenges, interventions, family issues. I would also like to emphasize the parental role and what we expect for each life stage. So for early childhood, yan po yung mga from 1 up to 3 years old. Ano po ba yung mga nagiging concerns natin? Ito yung parati, pag tinanong natin, ano ho yung concern nyo? May something siya, di ba? May something. So may something means it can be about social communication and interaction, and it could also be about atypical behaviors. So nandun na po yung not responding when called, hindi tumitingin, nagtitiptoe po ba, nangungulekta po ng mga maliliit na gamit, nagpa-flapping, etc. So yun po yung mga unang nakikita natin sa mga anak natin. Tinatawag mo pero hindi lumilingon. Talagang ang common na sinasabi nyo, may something. Okay? So, Taglish po ito, may something. Basta meron. Merong hindi tama or meron akong napapansin. So, yung mga kailangan po natin for this would be, syempre, kailangan natin ng diagnosis. Kailangan natin ng intervention. Ano ba ang magagawa natin para sa bata? Yan po yung unang parating tinatanong ng magulang. Paano ako makikipag-communicate sa anak ko? Paano siya makaka-communicate? And also part of the focus is not just about the patient, but also family. Anong gagawin natin para mas maintindihan ng mga pamilya kung ano ang problema ng kanilang anak? So malaki po ang nagagawa ng parents. So ito, di-describe ko po yung parents ay detective. Kasi sila po yung may something So anong gagawin ko? Securing a diagnosis, therefore, sino mga pupuntahan? Yung mga doktor. Getting a diagnosis is very important para po masabi, yes, if there's autism. Number 2 also, mayroon pa bang ibang mga nagiging concern kung bakit nakaka-contribute o yung mga co-occurring conditions ng autism. Therefore, kailangan po ang mga doktor para ma-improve at masigurado natin tamang diagnosis. Once it has been identified, again, detective pa rin ng parents because they would have to look into ano ba yung mga recommendations ng mga doktor, whether it's a developmental pediatrician, a neurologist, a child adolescent psychiatrist. Very important, sino po ang mga nakakaalam paano mag-diagnose at paano mag-manage. Part of it also would be workups that are needed in order to understand and to make sure that we have not missed any neurological and other problems. So identifying needs, papasok early intervention, papasok po ang mga therapists, papasok tayo. Basically because we want to improve on family-centered intervention, functional communication. Part of our responsibilities as doctors and intervention specialists would be to counsel families also. Help families or guide families into how they will have a better understanding of their child's autism at ano pa yung mga magagawa. So, we also recognize how difficult it is for families. I'm sure makaka-relate. There is grief after diagnosis. How many of you have cried in front of us because of that diagnosis? That is part of us. That we understand na hindi talaga we think that the perfect child that we think your child is not perfect after all. But that's not the end of it. You also have to look into family dynamics. How much stress has it been from the diagnosis, explaining it also to family members and yung mga kapatid. Diba? Nag-i-intervention po tayo, nagte-therapy po tayo. Pero sometimes hindi natin napapansin na naaano ng mga kapatid na bakit siya parate umaalis. Bakit yung kailangan ko wag muna kasi nagte-therapy yung anak ko. So there's a lot going on. And then the social strain. How would I tell the others? Hindi na lang ako aalis, hindi na lang kami aalis kasi baka magwala yung anak ko. And of course, financial burdens. So what would be the expectations? Technically, expectations, di ba, ng lahat ng mga magulang, normalization. So ang mga tanong sa amin, sa therapists also, kaya bang matreat ang autism? Okay? At saka magiging normal ba uli ang anak ko? So that's a realistic expectation or a true expectation of parents. For all of us, if we are able to improve and help each child in the early childhood phase, we can have or make sure na at least maximize kung ano yung potential na meron. In certain cases, some kids may pass on as walang problema for others. Tayo po yung nakakahalata na meron pa. Pero ang ating po is pagsabay-sabay tayo and we help each other out. Parents, doctors, and therapists, and the other key people who are important there. And we will be able to move on successfully to the other stages. So pagdating ng preschool, ganun pa rin, di ba? Kaya napapansin nyo, mas maraming tantrums. Nahahalata na kasi ito yung time between 3 to 6 years of age na sumasama na dapat sa mga playmates. Pero bakit hindi? Tapos ito yung mga intense interest. Yung ito lang ang gusto, lining up lang. Yung iba, also interest in terms of eating. So that's also a difficulty, yung mga nagiging picky eaters natin. Yung mga nangungulekta ng mga gamit, yung mga naglilinya ng mga silya, etc. So for the preschool, the key focus is technically really also effective communication. We want to improve social interaction because we want to help them be with other children their age. For parents, we need to help them through parent support groups at saka yung tinatawag natin respite care. Ibig sabihin, sana at a certain point in time, hindi parating 24/7 yung mga magulang. Bigyan natin ng pahinga. And that is where your other relatives also come in. In other countries, meron pong mga professional na respite care, and siguro every week, yung half day of a Sunday, may pumupunta po para alagaan yung mga anak nila. Sa atin po walang ganon. Pero I'm sure pag siguro yung mga ating mga kamag-anak, that will be a great help for us. So ano po yung role ng parent? Interpreter. Because the parent facilitates the social communication as well as the early social experiences. Yung parents, hindi mawawala yung role niya from the start to ano. But there are, in each of these domains, may mga nangingibabaw. And that is where we would also really commend the parents. Ang concern, social pa rin would be social isolation, hindi nakakaalis. Pero I hope kaya, labas po natin ating mga anak para masanay din po sila. And the financial burden. Talagang it is an ongoing thing, and I hope whatever Congress is now having or studying would be passed and have a strong impact on us. So ano yung expectation? Regulation. Sana hindi masyadong magwala. Sana makasama, makisali siya sa ibang bata. Sana yung mga intense interest niya or STEAMs mag-lessen so that the child can be able to interact with other children. The next part would be going to school na. So this kid from a very sheltered family circle will have to go to a bigger circle, which is the school. So pag lumabas po siya, he should be able to understand social rules, tsaka yung educational placement po ba, saan ilalagay ang anak ko. In certain schools, kapag may diagnosis, automatic kasi nilalagay sa SPED program. Pero hindi po yung ganon. It depends on the capability of children. And now there is integration. Diba? There's inclusive education. You see your children or some of your children socially isolated in school. Walang nakakasama, umuupo lang. Yung mga mahilig magbasa na sa library pag recess. And cases of bullying have also been increasing because medyo sabi nga nila, weird itong batang ito sige nga, tapos hindi magsusumbong. So, ang key focus natin, improving social skills, making sure academic accommodations are correct. So, papasok again, family, doctors, as well as mga therapists. All of us, plus the school, and kung meron yung mga teachers who will really help out. The parental role will be an architect. So yung mga parents po, they are the ones building the educational and the support framework based on what we as professionals are advising. And a family strain, sibling support. Medyo yung ibang siblings kasi medyo lumalayo na. Yung medyo nagkakaroon sila ng conflicts because, mami, nakakahiya kasi nagwawala siya pagkasama ko siya yung mga ganon. So, we also need to support siblings in this way. We need to make sure there's educational equity, meaning what this child deserves, where this child deserves to study, yun po ang ating pagtutuunan ng pansin. There should be constant home, school, therapy, communication, and with the doctors, kasi as a team, we will be able to help these children out. And ang expectation, successful integration in both academic activities or placement, as well as social. So the child will be able to help out and to function as maximally and optimally as possible. The adolescence is a very difficult stage. Kaya dito po papasok na si Sir Anthony unti-unti from adolescence into It is the storm of adolescence. Your children will go through this phase, whether sinabi nating may autism o walang autism, ma-experience nila yan. The puberty, the aggression of children, you will see the increased aggression. There's also increase in mental health concerns, especially anxiety and depression. Yung nangangamba tayo for their safety because very vulnerable sila. Vulnerable silang maloko, vulnerable silang, di ba, mababait din sila Pero somehow friendships are not really true in certain cases when these children are abused. And of course, pag may mga in the level 2 or level 3, all the more we need to ensure safety as well as vulnerability. On the part of the families, the concern would be the cliff effect. Ang ibig sabihin po to, adolescent na siya. Paano pagkatapos ng adolescence? Saan ko ipapasok ang anak ko? Sino pa ang mga interventionist na makukuha ko? Baka wala na akong makuha. But that is not true because we are all still here. So the key focus would be adaptive skills training, the transition planning. Very significant transition planning done at early age is important because it really takes time for the family, for the child to transition, especially depending on the level of functioning of your children. So the parents will always act as a coach. Naging interpreter na siya, naging detective, continuous pa rin po yun. So, saludo kami sa mga magulang because of your unconditional love for children and your dedication to ensure na habang lumalaki across the lifespan, the children are, you would want your children to be as integrated and as successful as possible. So you guide these adolescents through their identity as well as self-advocacy. The family concerns, increasing caregiver stress. Ilan sa inyo ang may mga anak na adolescent na, medyo malaki, medyo nananakit, hindi lang ng yaya or ano, kung hindi nananakit sa inyo. Diba? Minsan makikita namin talagang maraming kurot, maraming ang mga magulang. And because of that, dumadami yung nag-aalaga, yung caregiver, nakakarami na kayo ng ini-employ, di ba? Tapos umaalis. So, yun yung mga nila, yun yung mga concerns nila. And then there comes a time talaga nagbe-burn out. Kaya importante sana yung respite care. Then the relationship, depende yan sa nangyayari sa bahay nyo. In certain cases, there is a relationship strain na talaga between parents because they don't have time for each other, between family members because nauuna yung needs nitong child with autism as against the needs of the whole family. And that is why we advocate talaga na you have to spend time with all of your children together and perhaps individually because you have other children. You have children other than this person with autism who you need to take care of and who also have feelings. They may misinterpret your caring for this child with autism as having them neglected. So that is something that we always need to ensure. And of course, yung transition. So anong expectation? For this child who is an adolescent, you expect him to be independent, especially in terms of skills, yung self-help skills lalo. So from doing it for them, you are able to transition from they doing it for themselves. Hindi lang sa adolescence dapat yun. Actually, maaga pa lang, inaano na natin. Pero syempre sa adolescence, ang hirap titingnan mo pa, papakainin. Hindi na yun ganoon ka-appropriate. So, if you can do it as early as possible, then at the adolescent stage, you're able to have or give independence as well as identity. So, lumampas tayo sa adolescence, early adulthood, and middle age. So, pagdating niya ng 19 years old to about 64 years old. Ano na yung concerns? So, ang expectations natin for is nagtatrabaho na sila. Diba? Just like us, at a particular point in time, nag-start tayo magtrabaho. So, do these persons with autism have soft skills? Kaya ba nila yung mga skills so that they can be gainfully employed? Dumadagdag din po yung mga mental health issues. There are also economic exclusion because they're not working. And ang pinaka-issues din natin would be independent living. So, ano yung key focus natin for this age group? Community integration. You are building up this community integration right from the start, as early as possible. Hindi adolescence lang yan, hindi early adulthood, pero major concern na ito. There are cases na there's job coaching and of course guardianship. Sino mag-aalaga? Kung mayroong mga ari-arian o mga inheritance ang mga sino ang magpaplano para dito. So the parent role is a consultant because he builds broader support networks and he helps navigate the systems of care. What would be the concerns of the family? Who will take, ito yung di ba? Who will take care of him. And next, if there are certain mga ari-arian, or the care, is it guardianship versus supported decision making? So ang ano is, magiging independent ba ang anak ko? Ang expectation mo, productivity. Productivity in terms of being independent and of course, being gainfully employed. So nakikita nyo dito, ano pa rin yung roles natin as professionals na maibibigay sa families, and of course, families. Ano pa yung role, ano pa yung kaya natin as much as possible. Okay. So, the lifespan doesn't end in early adulthood and middle age. You go for old age. So, these are health conditions, dependency, lalo na po yung hindi kaya maging independent. So, there's person-centered planning, again, estate planning. And the parents will forever be the legacy guardians. The parents will always be there. Yun po yung tanong. Will the parents be always there? Okay? Old age po pala, pag nung tinignan ko, is 65 and above. So, ang retirement pala, old age. Ma'am, tayo yun eh. Kasi ang old age pala is 65 and above, so there's a caregiver crisis. Sino mag-aalaga? Kasi kadalasan naiiwan sa parents, di ba, yung ating mga anak. At parents talaga, yun yung masasabi mo, unconditional love. And therefore, kahit matanda na yung magulang, inaalagaan pa rin yung adult with autism. It will be possible for some of us. Kaya sana kung kaya nila mag-independent, that would be good. So, who will take charge of this patient if the parent is no longer there or is not capable of caring anymore kasi nga mas old? So, ang ano natin expectation, the continuity of care. So, I would want to express, using all of these tables, that autism, there are dynamic symptom trajectories. Hindi nako-confine yung isang concern for a particular age group. It can move around, and the behaviors and characteristics of people with autism can change as they mature. The core features may persist, but how they impact on daily life often changes as individuals develop the coping strategies and skills. That is where we come in most. Are they able to cope? How are they able to have strategies and skills? And therefore, a multidimensional support framework is important. So we look at the family. We have the family here. We have empowered the family. We look into doctors who will always be there, not just for diagnosis, but also helping around. In each circle of life, you will see that there would be other therapists or other educators who will be part of the life of this child. And we also have here the teachers. We also have vocational training. The psychologists are important because you also need to determine IQ and others. Also, counseling is important. So, hindi nawawala ang bawat tao. Hindi po tayo nawawala sa buhay ng isang child with autism. It doesn't have to be just for the particular domain or age group. It can move around. All of the interventionists are able to communicate with each other. We will need this particular people. We need everyone here to have a child with autism grow well. So this is what we call as the multidimensional support framework, wherein it is not just stage-specific, it is also an individualized life course approach, and it is a tailored support system. But what we want to emphasize is that it is beyond the simple symptom management. Hindi po tayo kung ano lang yung symptom. What we would always make sure is the child is functional, the child is resilient, the child is independent, and the child has a good quality of life. Therefore, ito po yung dati, yung una natin, na if hindi po natin tinulungan ang bawat bata at a particular age, it will stay that way. But since we are all here and we are committed to this child with autism from the early childhood and hopefully up to the old age, then this child would have a life that has optimal potentials and optimal quality. And therefore, autism across the lifespan is the journey of a child with autism, together with the family who loves him, the community that embraces him, and the advocates who ensure a life full of purpose. And pag tiningnan niyo po yun, tayo pong lahat yon. So let us make all of this, let us work together to make sure that a child with autism will have the best quality in life. Thank you very much.
Marami pong salamat, Dr. Avendaño. Ang ganda po nung pagkaka-lecture po ni ma'am, no? Alam ko po, marami po sa inyo nanonood, mga nandito na batang-bata pa yung mga anak nila. And because we invited older kids also, meron ding even 19-year-old, and across the lifespan po talaga, no? Alam natin it's a lifelong disorder. So parang medyo na-visualize nyo na po kung ano yung pagdadaanan po nila. At sabi nga po ni ma'am, no, walang kanya-kanya, isang buong community, sama-sama nandito po ang mga doctors, mga therapists, mga teachers who will help these kids and also their parents and of course their whole family. And speaking of across the lifespan, no, we did not want to focus lamang sa mga bata, no. That's why po we invited Dr. Anthony Gresha, who will give us a talk po sa transition planning into adulthood. Palakpakan po natin si Dr. Gresha.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Maraming salamat sa Section of Neurodevelopmental Pediatrics sa pag-imbita sa akin. Magandang umaga sa mga magulang, no? At sa mga fellow, nandun na yung mga volunteers, yung mga fellow therapist ko at fellow yung mga teachers, no? Magandang umaga. So, minodify ko lang yung aking lecture last time, no? So, mas may konting tutok, no, tungkol din sa adolescents, no, at sa transitioning. Medyo nahiya ako dun sa slides ni Dr. Avendaño. Parang ganda-ganda rin mga slides, no? So, yeah. Thank you. Next slide, please. Pwede akong magpindol. So, ito yung katanungan, no? So, kanina, yung sinasabi nga ni Doktora na coach, magiging coach, at some point kayo mga magulang, no? In terms of pag-intindi dun sa anak nyo kung anong gusto nilang maging. Okay, gaano ba talaga ka-open ang society natin para bigyan sila ng opportunity? So, ang challenge question ko, paano kung nalaman yung slightly nasa spectrum din, yung magiging therapist ng anak nyo? Open ba kayo? Di ba? Napatahimik kayo? Paano kung nasa spectrum? Tapos siya yung magiging therapist. Open ba kayo? Taas nga ng kamay ko. Yes, di ba? So ganyan na ngayon ang aking mga pinagdadaanan sa aking mga iba't ibang kliyente at pasyente. No? Ito lang yung isang mga halimbawa na mamaya sa workshop, siguro meron tayong pagkakataon, no, na ma-process. So ito, for yung isang example dito, si Peter, college student na, high-functioning autism, nagtitake siya ng game design. He is an only child who lives with both parents, tapos yung both parents magre-retire na in the next 10 years. Yung si Ken naman, ASD level 3, hindi masyadong nakakapagsalita, gumagamit ng pictures, nag-head bump, no? Kapag halimbawa na frustrate, no? But parents are into business. Okay, yung pangatlong halimbawa, si Anne, 20 years old na female, level 2, may konting verbalization pero biglang sumisigaw. No? Both parents are are employees in a middle-sized company, tapos she has an older brother. Sino nakaka-relate sa tatlong cases na ito? Taas nga ng kamay. Ayan, medyo. Okay, so hindi ko alam po yung iba. No? So, at some point, iba't iba po yung level, pero as Dr. Avendaño said, coach po kayo. Okay? Kung anong pwedeng mangyari. So, mag-i-introduce lang po ako ng transition sa ngayon. No? Hindi naman po lahat dadaanan natin. Tapos may konting mga examples or halimbawa. So, ano ba ang transition planning? Kaya sabi ko, nahiya ako dun sa slides ko. So, ito yung summary lang. Ito yung picture. It involves the student, no? yung anak niyo po, no? Kung ano yung kayang i-improve sa kanya. But more than that, no, nasa gitna po, it involves the family, the parent, the entire family. Tapos, it involves the institution, the school, the workplace, and then, at some point, it involves yung mga policies. Ano bang policies na meron na susuporta doon sa ginagawa natin, sa gagawin nyo, at saka doon sa pwedeng opportunity na ibigay sa kanila. At opportunity na pwede nilang makuha. So, yon, pagka nakita nyo po yung picture na ganito, that means it's for the youth, no, with developmental disabilities or with autism. Pag ito po tungkol sa family, ito tungkol dun sa institution, at yung pang-apat na picture ay tungkol dun sa policies. Ano lang po to framework? Okay. Kaya nahiya ako. But ito lang po yung sinasabi kanina na talagang multidimensional ang pagsuporta. Kung mapapansin nyo, sa family may 3 levels. Involve kayo, engage kayo, at at some point, there's family empowerment. No? Tapos sa institution, may collaboration ng iba't ibang institution. So, hindi ko masyadong dadaanan yan. Okay. So, ano ba yung kailangan sa transitioning? Unang-una, kailangan meron tayong transition plan. Yung tinatawag na ITP. From IEP, merong ITP. Pangalawa, meron tayong occupational exploration. Meaning, binibigyan natin sila ng opportunity na alamin kung ano ba yung interest nila, hilig nila, ano ba yung gusto nilang gawin. Tapos from there, hahanapan natin, no? Ano ba yung pwede. At kailangan din sa transitioning, medyo yung self-care, yung mga ADL nila na ayos na. Meaning nakakapag-bihis sila mag-isa, nakakakain mag-isa, no? To the point na kaya nating iwan sila mag-isa. Ngayon kung hindi, pwede din magkaroon ng transitioning program, iba lang yung magiging focus. So yung iba po rito, alam ko tinatarget siya ng mga therapists nyo kasi later on, kailangan natin to. Bago sila makapagtrabaho, bago sila makapunta ng college, no, kailangan na master na ito. Tapos, very important, yung kanilang socio-emotional. Nasabi nga kanina na pwedeng nagkakaroon na ng mga aggression, nagkakaroon din ng anxiety, tsaka depression. No? So, kailangan din po yung i-target. And then, very important, marunong ho silang magsabi kung ano ang kanilang condition, kung nakakapagsalita. At alam nila yung kanilang condition para sabihin nila sa iba kung ano yung kanilang kailangan. Ang tawag namin doon, self-advocacy. At the family level, gagawa ng transition map. So mamaya po sa workshop, magta-transition mapping po tayo. Tapos aalamin natin kung ano yung resources na pwedeng gamitin para suportahan po sila. At kailangan continue pa rin yung intervention. No? So very important kasi marami po pinapatigil yung therapy, tumitigil yung therapy, pero actually tuloy-tuloy po yung therapy. Katulad ko si Teacher May, narinig ko yung speech niya before na rarely akong nagdi-discharge. Pero pwedeng nababawasan yung session. Kasi dumadami po talaga yung kailangan habang mas tumatanda ho sila. Okay. So again, from IEP, kapag nasa school sila, later on, pagka mas tumanda na po, ITP naman. So ano ba tong ITP na ito? So sa ITP, itatap dito kung anong klaseng education. Pwedeng college education, yung post-secondary. Pwede ding vocational. Pwede ding parang hindi na pwede sa education. So siguro pwede na rin tayong may konting trabaho, yung integrated employment. Tapos may mga intervention services pa rin. Tapos they could go around the community, no? Independent living, no? So, very important na yung ITP ay based on sa kanilang needs, no? Kung ano yung kailangan nila at ano yung community na ginagalawan nila, no? Natin, no? So, kung saan siya nakatira, tapos kung ano ba talaga yung kailangan niya, doon tayo magfo-focus. No, hindi na talaga sa clinic. Kaya dito yung time na lumalabas na rin yung therapist, sinasamahan siya sa grocery, sinasamahan sa dentist, no? sinasamahan sa kung saan saang places na malapit doon sa bahay nyo para ma-integrate siya sa community. So, ano lang po to, drawing lang, di kailangan intindihan from pagka below 6, IFSP, pagka above 6, IEP, hanggang mga 9 or 12, minsan sa iba 14, tapos ITP na, more or less kapag 14 and above. So, as bilang coach po ng inyong mga anak, kailangan pag nasa school po kayo, gamitin nyo na yung mga lengguwahe. IEP, but yung anak ko 14 na, mag-ITP na ba tayo? Maganda rin po kasi na alam nyo po yon para yung teacher din mapapaisip na ito na yung kailangan gawin. Okay. With the Inclusive Education Act, marami na rin pong guro ang nakakaalam ng ITP. Ngayon, ang isa sa magandang karakteristik ng ITP, dapat po strength-based. Ibig sabihin, kung ano talaga ang interest, ano yung parang pinaka-skill at capacity ng teenager, kahit anong level pa yan. Lahat yan may strength. Kahit level 1, level 2, level 3. Alam nyo ba ang pagkain ay pwedeng strength? Mahilig sa pagkain, that's a strength. No? Mahilig sa mag-arrange ng mga bagay, no? That's still a strength. So it's important na makita natin ang strength. Siguro, hindi ako tatanda sa trabahong ito kung hindi ko nakikita yung strength ng aking mga estudyante, ng aking mga pasyente or kliyente. Kasi yun yung nakakatuwa, no? Kahit anong level pa. Tapos, very important na susuportahan natin yung matataas nilang expectation. No? Hindi natin sasabihin, hindi pwede yan. No? Minsan sabihin nila, gusto kong maging pilot, gusto kong maging doktor. Okay, saan pa tayo ngayon? Then later on, sila din naman mapapaisip na, okay, baka may pwedeng alternative. Pero hindi natin sasabihin agad na hindi pwede. Di ba? Kasi pagka sinabi natin agad na hindi pwede, nadidisappoint din po sila. No? So, simulan natin kung nasaan sila, then unti-unti babaguhin natin na pwede mas magiging realistic sa kanila. Siyempre, very important na binibigyan natin sila ng opportunity. No? Yung opportunity focus. Subukan. Diba? Actually, dito sa presentation na to, hindi ko pinipresent yung, minsan po pinipresent, kapag level 2 na may mild intellectual disability, ito lang yung pwedeng marating. May mga ganong text eh. Kapag moderate ang kanilang intellectual disability, ito yung hanggang grade level lang. Ngayon, what I learned, minsan nasa-surprise ako yung may moderate na intellectual disability, naka-reach ng college. Kasi yun yung gusto ng magulang. Gusto din niya na may diploma kahit na ilang years niyang kinuha. So, okay, mahirap, pero sige, I work with you, but ano nga yung trabaho? We focus on the work. No, kaya, very important na umpisahan natin kung nasaan yung isip ng bata, ng teenager, at isip ng magulang. Then we work from there. Okay. So, strength-based approach, meron tayong paniniwala ng lahat ng tao ay may potential at may kalakasan. No? Lahat sila may capability. So, we don't see their limitations. No? Ito ang ganda nitong phrase na to. No? Not their limitations, not I will believe when I see. It's more, I believe and I will see. Okay. So, I believe and I will see. No? Sometimes, nalulungkot sila, yung mga college ko or yung mga nag-work na parang, I feel like I cannot do this work. And then at times when you tell them, I believe that you have the capability to finish this. I believe that you could do this project. Nabibigyan sila ng lakas ng loob. Of course, with still support, no? At tulong. Just to emphasize yung sinabi ni kanina, no, yung mastery ng ating self-care. No, nagkaroon ng pag-aaral sa Autism Speaks na hindi actually ang intellectual disability at language, importante ho sila, Pero yung bathing, dressing, cleaning, at cooking, no, sila po yung nakakapag-predict later on kung mas magiging maganda yung kanilang adulthood. Kung later on magkakaroon ba ng depression or iba pang complication. So isa sa predictor dyan kung kaya na nilang alagaan yung sarili nila. So ito po yung domains na tinitingnan natin. Una, personal care. Kaya nilang alagaan yung sarili nila, yung grooming and hygiene. Tapos yung sleep. Very important po yung sleep kasi marami sa nasa spectrum, pagdating po ng teenage years, lalo na kapag may gusto na silang gawin, no? Yan yung isa sa nahihirapan tayo, yung sleep, no? So, actually, school age pa lang, umpisahan nyo na maayos yung sleep hygiene. Pagdating nila, habang tumatanda sila, more or less, ano na sila, di ba mahiligo sila sa pattern? So, nakukuha po yun, no? Pagka teenager na, tapos babaguhin natin dun pa lang, syempre po, battle yun. So, may mga techniques po, no, na at times kailangan ayusin yung schedule, papa-explore natin sila ng iba't ibang activities na satisfying apart from, let's say, video games para mapaayos yung sleep. Of course, may mga household chores, no? At some point, kung inaasam natin na mabuhay sila independently, kailangan may household chore. Okay? So ngayon pa lang, pinapagawa na natin ang household chore. Kesyo, 3 ang yaya or 2 ang yaya. Actually, by this time, pwede nyo nang i-fire ang ibang yaya. Unti-unti, no? Para gumawa sila ng household chore, no? Yung iba kasi, sinanay ng yaya. Tapos pagdating sa college, biglang kailangan mag-leave sa dorm. Tapos yung parent magreklamo sa akin, "Ako, napakakalat ng ganyan." Sinanay naman siya na may yaya habang nandun sa high school. Paano tayo magiging independent? So ngayon pa lang, simulan na. Yung financial literacy, no, actually po, ang isa sa predictor para makaikot ho sila sa community, una, if they can commute, they know how to go around. Pangalawa, if they know how to use money. So kailangan, sa ngayon pa lang, sinisimulan na natin. Okay, so sinisimulan natin at least man lang, magbayad ng maayos, i-track yung sukli. At least man lang maging conscious dun sa budget. Yung iba po kasi, sisimulan lang na nila yung pagiging conscious sa budget kapag halimbawa, mahal na yung hinahanap. Pero nung mura pa lang, hindi nila sinisimulan. At syempre yung bata, nagkakaroon na ng pattern na, wala namang pakialam si mom and daddy dun sa gagastusin. Pero, pagka malaki na, dun lang magre-react. Syempre, nagka-pattern na yung person in the spectrum na, you're not conscious about it. So, kaya very important na sisimulan to ng maaga, yung financial literacy at money management. Transportation, syempre po, sanay ng hatid sundo, o yung iba po, di kotse. Pero paano kung wala yon? Kailangan mag-commute. Diba? So, kailangan natin simulan yun ng maaga. Sabihin nila, yung mahirap mag-grab, pati grab daw mahirap, di ba? So, paano na? So, at some point, kailangan masimulan to. No? Healthcare advocacy. Kung may sakit sila, ano yung gagawin? No? Meron akong isa, nagtatrabaho na, medyo na-bother yung parent kasi 1 linggo na pala siyang may diarrhea. Hindi niya nare-report. Na-discover na lang nung mom. Hindi siya nagsabi. Kasi sabi niya, I thought it will just go away. And then, sabi ko naman, di syempre yung mama sabi, bakit di niya kasi sinabi kanya? Sabi ko, nagkaroon na ba kayo ng discussion tungkol sa diarrhea? Hindi pa. so kaya lang. So, kaya natin simulan. Kasi siguro nung bata siya, parang diarrhea, walang discussion. Alagaan siya ngayon. Ngayon, college na siya. The parents are already aging. So, maganda ngayon simulan pa lang na alam niya ang diarrhea, paano aalagaan yon. No? Ano yung simptomas? Nasa manual niyo po ito, yung mga domains. Summary lang po ito ng, nandiyan po sa manual niyo to yung communication, kay Teacher May ito. No? At some point, nakakapagsalita, nakukommunicate nila yung need nila. Yung iba po, ang ginagamit ay PECS or yung gadget, no, to communicate. transportation. Kailangan natin ito para makago around the community. Tsaka later on, at some point, marunong silang mag-report, no? Kung may sakit, may nararamdaman na sakit. Kung hindi man sila nakakapagsalita, alam natin yung mga signs na uncomfortable sila. At ituturo natin yon sa caregiver nila at sa kapatid nila. Para alam natin na, ito yung signs na pinapakita niya, baka may sakit, baka may nararamdaman. Household chores, at later on, introduce natin sa work skills. Yung sa leisure naman, very important to kasi this makes them happy. Yung iba pong mga nasa level 3, di ba? At some point, they like leisure activities. At least they can join the leisure activities of the family. No? Para pag tumatanda na yung parent, kasama na nila yung sibling, madali silang isama. Okay. Yes, Doc. Okay. 10 minutes na. Meron akong timer, 11 minutes. 9 seconds. Okay. So, part sa strength base, ay kailangan alam natin ang interest. So, mamaya sa workshop, meron pong interest checklist na sasagutan para makita nyo doon, ano ba talaga yung gusto ng anak nyo. Tapos, from there, sisimulan nyo kung ano yung pwedeng gawin para magkaroon later on ng trabaho or habang tumatanda sila, ito yung para nagpapasaya sa kanila. Pero, ito yung example. So, for example, yung isang kliyente ko na ginawan ko ng focus sa adaptive functioning, yung adaptive skills, papansinin niyo to, hindi na siya talaga lesson sa school. Makabili siya sa tindahan. Maka-go around to a nearby place. Okay, yung gusto niya. Okay, makagamit ng cellphone. May konting work na alam niya pag sinabing work, babayaran siya. Meron ako mga ganon. Work. Will I get paid? Yes, it's work. So ngayon pa lang, pagka-summer na, kahit anong level ng client ko, as much as possible, pinapasimulan ko ng work. At least yung level 2 and level 1. No, level 3 naman, pinapasama as much as possible dun sa mga leisure activities. Okay. Para nasasanay na sila dun sa behavior na expected. No? Kasi pag hindi ho rin naayos yung behavior, ang hirap. No? May isa akong family na ka-work na they want to travel. Pero yung bata kasi, talagang panag-scream, ang hirap isama sa plane. So yun, kailangan i-target para mas madali siya makasama. No? Pag nakasama siya, at some point kasi when they go to new places, they also learn something. The client learns something, your child learns something. It's a new experience for them. There's also growth, whatever level they are. No? Tapos, there's opportunity for creative work. Pina-emphasize ko rin dito sa client na to na marunong na siyang mag-take care ng clothing, yung folding ng clothes, at some point hanggang mag-plan siya, no? At saka bumili ng kanyang clothes, no? Ito naman yung example ng iba pang targets, no? Yan, yung sinabi ko kanina, marunong silang gumamit ng devices, marunong sa time management, alam nila mag-go around the community. They could go shop around places. So these are the things that can be trained by the school, by your occupational therapist, no? Even speech therapist. Kasi sa speech therapist, kailangan isana yung language. Whether, or yung communication. Pwede kasing ang gamit ay PECS eh. So may bata akong sinasamahan, naka-iPad, kausap niya yung barista, gamit yung kanyang iPad. Tapos sabihin ng barista, I don't speak. I said, louder. Gagawin niya, i-increase niya yung volume, yun. And then kahit hirap na yung barista, I don't really speak. Kasi I let the barista adjust. Because we let our society adjust. Diba? Or ang haba na ng pila dun sa Family Mart. Diba? So, pumila ka rin dyan. Pagdating dun sa Family Mart, minsan, tawag dito, natatagalan yung cashier dun sa pagtanggap ng money. The cashier has to wait as well. Diba? Ano ba ang incidence ng ngayon nasa spectrum? 1 out of, Doktora, 65 before. Ngayon, 1 out of 37. So, we will adjust to the people with the spectrum adjust to us. We also have to adjust to them. And when we do that, we advocate na we also have to make it a neurodivergent friendly institution. 6 minutes. Okay. Sige, kiklik ko yung video. Sandali lang naman to.
My name's Lauren Portingen. I live in Waterloo Region. I am an autistic woman.
My name's Patricia Baxter. I was diagnosed at the time with Asperger's syndrome, but now I generally identify as autistic.
And so to me, advocacy is really important, both as an individual to advocate for my own needs, but also advocacy within the system to help bring about change and educate people.
Self-advocacy is just like a tool that's important, not just for autistic people, but for people in general.
My name's Lauren Portingen. I live in Waterloo Region.
Commitment, magkaaso.
Okay, so yeah, it's important that they are able to say it. It's important that they are able to say it at the right time, no? Parang strategic din yung pagsabi at some point, alam nila na meron silang kondisyon, no? Although, merong iba't ibang levels yung self-advocacy, no? So, for me, ito yung experience ko with, with all of my clients. Na una, alam nila yon, self-awareness, no? So they start talking about it, they start asking questions, bakit ba ang dami kong therapist, ang dami kong doktor, okay? Why I feel different, no? So i-demystify natin with them, no? Tapos, at some point, we teach them how to say it. Express and assert. At times, they have to assert. They have to assert it sa HR. I have one client recently na napunta siya sa parang hearing because of something. Then, pag ang dami ng tanong ng panel, nat-trigger siya, tapos tumataas yung boses niya. Then, it's being misconstrued as impolite and disrespectful. So ngayon, nung nagkaroon ng second hearing, sabi ko, magbigay ka ng disclaimer. That she start disclaimer, I am a neurodivergent, I am in the spectrum, and I have also ADHD. This, syempre, nagulat yung mga buong panel. Diba? Because it's needed. They have to say it. Because I don't want her to be grilled there and then magkakaroon siya ng breakdown because people in the spectrum, their reactions could be heightened. Diba? If you're cornered already. Diba? So at some point, they know when to say it. I said naman, it's up to you if you want to say the disclaimer, but that's how I see it. Kasi looking back at what happened in your previous hearing. So, she did, no? And suddenly, parang nagulat yung panel, biglang nagtanong further, when were you diagnosed, ganyan-ganyan. So, okay. Now, that's level 1. That's for the student. Now, level 2, sa family level, syempre hindi naman magdi-disclose yung bata kung hindi nagsimula sa parent. Kung yung parent, tinatago niyo yung condition, kinakahiya niyo, di, nagkaroon din yung bata. Diba? But at some point, kailangan tayo yung maging modelo na, okay, I have autism, you are in the spectrum, okay, and these are the strengths that you have, these are the weaknesses. So magsisimula po yun sa inyo. Hindi ko na masyado i-discuss yung level 3 at 4, no? But very important na tuturuan po ng magulang yung as early as pag school age pa lang yung self-advocacy. Again, very important din po yung emotional regulation, no? At kapag halimbawa they get agitated, alam ng magulang, alam din ng bata kung paano sila magkakalma. No, at some point, alam nila na kailangan nila ng space, kailangan nila ng calming room, kailangan nilang excuse yung sarili nila, or kailangan ba nilang pumunta sa CR at doon muna ikalma yung sarili, then babalik sa task. Okay, so maaga pa lang tinuturo na po to. Very important din na na-address yung sensory processing, yung mga SI needs nila. Kasi at times, pag hindi to na-address, tapos may something na nag-overwhelm sa kanila, mas mahirap i-regulate ang emotion. Okay? Tsaka very important na alam yung mga triggers. Ano ba yung nagpapainis sa kanila? Okay. Mamaya po, gagawin natin yung map. So dito sa map, ano ba tong map? In-advocate to ng Autism Speaks. Ito yung parang strategy kung saan ipaplano kung ano yung pwedeng mangyari in the next few years, kung ano yung pwedeng maging story ng bata at ng buhay niya with the family, at kung ano yung maging gusto niya. So ito yung example ng map. So isa kong client, ang pangalan niya ay si Kyle. Si Kyle ay nagtatrabaho na ngayon. Nasa Canada sila, tapos kung babalik pa siya dito sa Pilipinas, ayaw pa niya. Pero sabi niya, he wants to work there for 10 years. Tapos gusto niya mag-travel back to the Philippines every 5 to 6 years. Gusto pa rin niya mag-collect ng cards. Tapos gusto niya makahanap ng friends sa Canada, at pwede din na maka-find daw siya ng lover. But ang nightmare niya, ayaw niya na wala siyang trabaho, na magkautang-utang siya at maging biktima siya ng loan sharks. Nako, 57 seconds. Or may unforeseen disasters. Ito yung pwedeng mga policies. No? For example, alam niyo ba yung 1% quota law? So 1% of the position in the government agencies encourages and even in corporations na dapat nasa PWD. So we have to know that, no? Para alam natin na pwede pala mag-apply. Okay, wala na akong time, magpapakita na lang ako ng video. But ito muna yung very important, no? So I just want to emphasize na sa study ng Project Search, okay, yung mga batang nasa spectrum, in-expose nila sa trabaho habang nag-aaral. At based dun sa study nila, sila yung naging successful later on na naka-maintain ng job. So, sa akin, kung sa college, yung college, habang nag-aaral yung bata, kung accommodating yung school, hindi ko pinapa-full load, slowly pinapa-introduce ko na yung trabaho. So that, pagka-graduate nila, mas madali na rin silang magtrabaho. Okay. Kasi that requires adjustment. Di ba hirap ang people in the spectrum for transition? From school siya magmula elementary hanggang college, tapos suddenly, trabaho. So maganda, umpisa pa lang, sa atin nga, may internship tayo. Sa kanila, mas kailangan nila, mas maaga yung internship. Okay. Then, isasabay natin while they're studying. Okay, magpapakita na lang po ako ng video. Ayan, so may mga pictures po. Ito po sa Vanguard naman, in-expose yung mga bata sa iba't ibang internship sites, iba't ibang companies. So there are 37 now, total partner companies. Ito, yung sa Coffee Bean, yung barista. Hindi lahat, sa Facebook, hindi lahat kailangan na talagang nasa magagandang businesses. Pwede din naman na simple business tapos i-expose natin sa trabaho. Okay na. So, ako lang focus. Okay. So now I'll show something naman for the participants here. A video. Okay. This one, hindi lahat kailangan high funk, no? Pwede din naman na level 3.
May piatos.
So non-verbal, hindi siya nakakapagsalita?
Piatos, walang potato chips.
Kaya. Sorry. Okay? Kaya. So kahit non-verbal, pwede introduce sa any At a certain work, no, it takes a while to train, but kaya. So hindi lang level 1, di ba? Level 2, level 3, pwede. Okay? For those who go to college, we advocate yung mga accommodations sa school. Again, we use yung principle ng universal design of learning. We lower the number of units para hindi sila na-overwhelm. We encourage them to meet the guidance counselors, no? Tsaka continue pa rin yung mga therapy. Mapapansin nyo rito, social group, regular consult with the psychiatrist naman. Nandito si Dr. Luz. Okay. At saka life coaching at saka yung sa therapist nila, no? This is naman for the high functioning, no? So he is in the spectrum, and for me, siya yung present ko kasi now he's about to take Masters in Autism sa Australia.
Hi everyone, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. So my name's Miguel, and I am currently one of the patients of Dr. Anthony Gresha at Goals. So I first learned about Goals during the time I was in high school, around 2013 and 14. And I was referred to Dr. Anthony Gresha by Dr. Alexis Reyes. So the initial concerns and challenges that I had were on terms of mainly social interaction and communication due to my Asperger's syndrome diagnosis. The reason why I still continue to visit this clinic until today is due to the support that I've been given by my occupational therapist, Dr. Anthony Gresha, who's helped me overcome the difficulties and challenges associated with my syndrome, in particular during the coronavirus outbreak, when I fell into a spiral of extreme depression and anxiety to the point that I've become suicidal. And it was at this time that really made me think that this was the best thing that could have happened by having a therapy session, having
Okay. So as mentioned, no, the other parts kasi is parang he's just greeting the clinic, no. So as mentioned, no, even though they're working, they could experience mental health concerns, no. But it's also quite striking that he has this condition and he wants to learn more about it, and now taking Masters in Autism. Now how they go about things. Oops. Okay. So I'm not promoting our bakery, but this bakery is actually named from my client Rafael, no. So at that time, the mother thought that he might not have a job when he grows older. So probably we have to introduce something that is where he could work. So I said to the parent, we work together, it's either a grocery, di ba, remember the sari-sari store, yung sa isang bata kanina, or a bakery, because there's a lot of tasks in the bakery that can be done. So the parent, they have some resources, they put up something, and right now, my client is still in college, but he works here during the weekend, and as part of it is the monitoring of the finances, no. On a daily basis, he gives reminders to the workers, no, and gets the survey, how many breads were finished, how much is the sales, etc. No, so he has some work. In other countries, they have insurance, no, at mga trust funds, no. There are things to consider. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Anthony Gresha. Salamat din po ulit kay Dr. Avendaño sa mga napakagandang lectures natin ngayong umaga. Napakaswerte natin at natuto tayo mula sa mga pinakamahuhusay sa kanilang larangan. Ngayon pong puntong ito, magpapaalam na po kami sa mga nanonood sa Facebook Live. Umabot po tayo ng more than 200 na mga nakasama po natin ngayong araw. Maraming salamat po at nawa ay marami po kayong natutunan. Huwag po ninyong kalimutan na i-like at i-follow ang aming official Facebook page para malaman ang iba pa naming mga programa. Marami pong salamat sa inyong mga nanonood at magandang umaga.
minsan mahirap maintindihan, mga tanong na walang kasagutan. Pero tandaan, di ka nag-iisa, may nagmamahal at laging makakasama. Ang bawat galaw may kwento rin, tahimik man malalim ang damdamin. Iba-ibang kulay ng mundo, pero lahat tayo'y parte nito. Sa sariling anyo, ikaw ay bituin, sa liwanag mo tataas ang tingin. Sa mata'y mundo'y puno ng kulay, di man maintindihang tunay. Puno ng tanong at pangamba, ngunit sa ngiti natutong magtiwala. Ang bawat galaw may kwento rin, tahimik man malalim ang damdamin. Iba-ibang kulay ng mundo, pero lahat tayo'y parte nito. Sa sariling anyo, ikaw ay bituin, sa liwanag mo tataas ang tingin. Bawat isa ay may galing na taglay, kahit magkaibang daan sa buhay. Magkaagpay tungo sa hinaharap, magkasabay tutuparin ang pangarap. Iba-ibang kulay ng mundo, pero lahat tayo'y parte nito. Sa sariling anyo, ikaw ay bituin, sa liwanag mo tataas ang tingin. Hindi ka nag-iisa sa paglalakbay, ang tinig mo'y aming isasabay. May halaga ka sa iyong kabuuan, abot kamay ang iyong kinabukasan. Hindi ka nag-isa sa paglalakbay, ang tinig mo'y aming isasabay. May halaga ka sa iyong kabuuan, abot kamay ang iyong kinabukasan.
Magandang araw po sa ating mga magulang at pamilya na nakasama namin ngayong online. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras at pakikiisa sa Autism Camp. Ang inyong pagmamahal, tiyaga at patuloy na pagsuporta sa inyong mga anak ang tunay na inspirasyon ng programang ito. Naway may mga bago kayong kaalaman at pag-asa kayong baon mula sa ating mga talakayan ngayon. Tandaan po ninyo, hindi po kayo nag-iisa. May isang komunidad na handang sumuporta at samahan kayo sa bawat hakbang. Maraming salamat po at hanggang sa muli.